So this is the video review of the quiz that I passed back on Friday, September 17th. Two versions again, and I'm going to work through one version and make a video of the other version. So here we go. We have 25 milligrams per cubic centimeter. 25 milligrams per cubic centimeter. So it's important to realize that you have to deal with the numerator separate from the denominator. So I'm going to deal with the numerator first and just kind of forget about the denominator. So we'll do this. We have milligrams here. We'd put milligrams on the bottom because we want to cancel them. Whatever we have in this position will always go opposite. So if we want to cancel milligrams, it goes on the bottom. If I wanted to cancel cubic centimeters, it would go on the top. Okay, we don't know you could put kilograms here, but I don't know that relationship off the top of my head. So I'm just going to put what I do know is grams because that's on the things list. It says one thing is 1,000 millithings. So 1 gram is 1,000 milligrams. And that, of course, is in your materials list in Google Classroom. So 1 gram is 1,000 milligrams. Then we know we want to get away from grams, so we put it down here to cancel it, and we move to kilograms, put it on top. And 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. Again, for these relationships, it's important that you know that the top and the bottom have to equal each other. So 1 gram is equal to 1,000 milligrams. 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. I always encourage you not to use decimals, but just use whole numbers, numbers bigger than 1. Then you can remember to put 1, the number 1, with the bigger of the two things. So grams are bigger than a milligram, so 1 goes with grams. Kilograms are bigger than grams, so 1 goes with kilograms. All right, then moving on across, we now have the numerator where we want it, because milligrams have canceled, grams have canceled. I have kilograms on top, and that's what we want. So we want that. So now we need to deal with cubic centimeters. So I'd put cubic centimeters opposite of where they are. So cubic centimeters on top. And then you could put cubic decimeters on the bottom, but I'm going to pretend we don't know what that relationship is because I told you that that one thing is 100 centithings. However, in this case, it's a cubic thing. It's a cubic meter, like that. So if this is 1 meter, then it's 100 centimeters on the side, and the volume is equal to the length times the width times the height. So it's 100 times 100 times 100. So 1 cubic meter is 1,000,000 cubic centimeters. 100 times 100 times 100. Then we can put cubic centimeters on the bottom. Oh, we don't want to do that. I'll take it back. Since we're trying to get rid of cubic meters, we put cubic meters up here, put cubic decimeters on the bottom. Now using that same cubic meter, you know, 1 meter is 10 decimeters, so the volume would be 10 times 10 times 10, or 1,000. So 1 cubic decimeter is 1,000 of those. So now our units would be where we want them. Centimeters cubed cancels, meters cubed cancel. We have cubic decimeters on the bottom. That's what we want. We have cubic kilograms on top. That's what we want. So now we're ready to do the math. When you do the math, you multiply all the numbers across the top and divide by all of the numbers that are across the bottom. So you have 25 multiplied by 1,000,000. Then we would divide that by 1,000, divide again by 1,000, and divide again by 1,000. And so we get 0.025. And that would be our answer except for sig figs. So we have this many kilograms over 1 cubic decimeter. And since this number has 3 significant figures, our answer needs to have 3 significant figures because all these other numbers are definitions. They have infinite sig figs. So we take our 25.0, this is 3 sig figs, 0.025 is only 2 because zeros in front are never significant. So you need to put a 0 at the end here, so the final answer is 0.0250 with 3 significant figures. All right, second question. This time we have 25 kilograms of aluminum. We want to get to cubic decimeters. This measures mass. This measures volume. The concept that ties together mass and volume is density. So we're going to need to change kilograms into the unit that is in the density that was given to us. So that would be grams. So you need to get rid of kilograms. They go on the bottom. Put the grams on top, and 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. Now you can put grams on the bottom and cubic centimeters on the top because we're given that. And this relationship says that 2.7 grams is 1 cubic centimeter. And now we need cubic decimeters. So we could pretend that we don't know the relationship between cubic centimeters and cubic decimeters, so we just put cubic meters here. One of those is 1,000,000 of those. And then we could put cubic meters on the bottom and cubic decimeters on the top, because that would then give us cubic decimeters. So one of these is 1,000 of those. All right, so notice what units have canceled. Kilograms are gone. Grams are gone. Cubic centimeters we set up to cancel. Cubic meters cancel. We have cubic decimeters in our answer. Pay close attention to how I punch these numbers in. So I'm going to have 25 times 1,000 times 1,000. Those are all the numbers across the top. I'm going to divide by 2.7. And I'm going to divide by 1 times 10 to the 6th. This is what you got to pay attention on. A couple of people messed up the putting this in a calculator. So divided by 1, exp 6. Do not use 10 to the 6th. It's 1 exp to the 10th to the 6th. So that gives us 9.26, and sig figs, it would have to just be 9.3 because there are 2 sig figs there. 9.3 cubic decimeters. Okay, that was number 2. Number 3. We have 15 millimeters per microsecond. So you're going to change millimeters to kilometers. So we put millimeters here. You could put kilometers there, but I'll pretend we don't know that. So we put meters there. We know write down what we know, because it's easy to look up that one thing is 1,000 millithings. So you do that. Millimeters cancel. Meters down here. Kilometers here, because you're trying to cancel meters. So 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. Now I'm expecting you to know these definitions. We've been using them now for a couple weeks. It's time for you to know. So meters cancel. We have kilometers per microsecond. So we don't want microseconds, we want hours. So we're going to put microseconds here, put seconds here, and one of those is 1,000,000 of these. Again, that's on the things list. One thing is 1,000,000 micro things. We want hours, so we're going to put seconds on the top and minutes on the bottom. I would do that. So 1 minute is 60 seconds. And then the minutes on top and hours on the bottom. And 60 minutes is 1 hour. So now if you look at our unit cancellations, millimeters cancel, meters cancel, kilometers don't cancel, because that's what you wanted. So right there. Microseconds cancel. Seconds cancel. Minutes cancel. We have hours left on the bottom. So we have kilometers over hours. Then when you do the math, it's 15. And you're going to multiply. I'm going to do it all, and then I'm going to show you a shortcut. 15 times 1,000,000, so 1 exp to the 6th. Remember your EE key or EXP key. Times 60. Times 60 equals. So we divide by 1,000, then divide again by 1,000. So we get 54,000. And that would be the number of kilometers per hour. Now the shortcut, if you wanted to, you could do this and this, make 1,000,000, and they cancel that out. So you'd have 15 times 60 times 60. 54,000, get the same answer. Sig figs, there are 2. This number has 2 as long as I didn't put a decimal in. And so now we've hit the end of that quiz.